Hello, my name is Dana Walter, and my presentation is about Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee for my Intro to Service Learning class. I did my service learning placement through Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee and have previously been there as well, so I'm pretty excited to discuss the program again and the agency itself. The agency was started in 1982, and it started out as a food rescue. Two men bought a food truck and contacted local grocery stores and restaurants and informed them that they wanted to take their waste from them and provide it to food banks instead. They became pretty successful, and in 2008 they joined Feeding America and became Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. The agency's sole purpose is to provide feeding programs and food to over 150,000 people each month in over 18 counties in East Tennessee. And the root cause of problems found within this population that they're serving is generally just income inequality. They serve working poor, mostly children, low-income seniors, people that are on a very fixed income and don't have food security. Most of them work or have a modest income. The program is funded completely through donations and fundraising efforts. And when I've asked staff before if they felt their funding was sufficient, the response has generally been yes, the funding is sufficient for the program as it functions now. However, the burden of need is expected to greatly increase. The current political administration is talking about making very severe cuts in funding to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP or Food Stamps Program. And as those cuts are made, the population they're already serving, most of them have food stamps or accessibility to food stamps. A lot of them would be cut off the program or see drastic cuts in their food stamp allotment each month, which would create a higher burden of need for this population. And Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee doesn't feel as though at this moment they're adequately equipped to increase their programs for a surge of more individuals needing food very abruptly. I've asked multiple staff members, including my supervisor, Dylan Trussell at Second Harvest, how would the agency use extra funds if they received it? And there's a lot of really creative ideas. However, the essence of what they would use their money for is to increase food programs and further invest in food programs, especially the senior feeding programs. I've been informed that lots of people love to donate money to the Food for Kids program. People sympathize greatly with young children that are going hungry, families that need to feed their young children. However, seniors often get overlooked. They've talked about creative ideas specifically, such as purchasing beehives and having a beekeeper watch the hives and create income with the honey, have honey for their seniors. Also, they have a senior garden right now, but they've discussed wanting to have a greenhouse. So year-round, they have more accessibility to more fruits and vegetables for the senior program. I didn't have a lot of preconceptions about the population or the agency that I was working with. I've had previous experience with both individuals that are food insecure, have food insufficiency, low income, and I've also had previous experience volunteering with Second Harvest. However, I had a wonderful experience where I really, with my service learning, got to see intimately how the agency runs, and I don't think I expected the agency to be so securely funded. They're pretty much ready for an increase in food needs to a small scale, and they are at this point in time trying to shift and brace themselves financially for that increase. So they're very proactive as an agency to kind of make sure that needs are met, to make sure that programs are reaching the individuals that need it, and creating programs to reach individuals that aren't being reached with that need. So I don't think I was prepared to find that information out about Second Harvest Food Bank, and didn't see that as being something that the agency is prepared for and considers. I think the highest impact of the service was that I was greatly inspired by the wonderfully passionate staff at Second Harvest Food Bank. They're all very talented. They're well suited for their positions at Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. And that was inspiring to see so many people that have a team mentality, want to work together, and they're all very driven individuals. So that impacted me, and that I want to volunteer more with their programs. I hope to one day work for an organization that invests very heavily in their staff, and they invest in their volunteers. They made me feel after my 35 hours that I was a part of the team. So I think that was a great impact that it had on me, is feeling as though this is a place I would want to work one day. One thing that's incredibly unique about the agency is the cohesiveness of the staff and the programs. I've said before, staff are very well suited for the positions they're in. I can tell they put a lot of thought and effort into staffing for particular positions and who they want on their team. I thought that was pretty unique. And if I could change anything about the agency, partnering agencies have their own hours that they can choose to be open. So particular food pantries get to choose their hours. I think if I worked at Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, I would try to find a way to push those partnering agencies to be open for hours that are more accessible and convenient to the population that they're serving. So a lot of the food banks that are partnered with Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, a lot of those pantries, over 550 of them, of the pantries and agencies, they're generally open on weekdays during business hours. So that means a lot of the people they're serving are at work. And I think I would kind of find a way to push for, hey, let's be open on the weekend. Well, can you guys do some evenings each month, or etc. Just to kind of make sure that those needs are being met a little bit more at the convenience of the individuals that need it.